Welcome to this another very interesting HackerRank challenge. Today we are going to be breaking the records very easily, and let's see how it goes. It says Maria plays college basketball and wants to go pro. Each season she maintains a record of her play. She tabulates the number of times she breaks her season record for most points and least points in the game. Records Points scored in the first game establish her record for the season, and she begins counting from there. So, given the score 12, 24, 10, 24, scores are in the same order as the games played. She tabulates her results as follows. Alright, so if you look at the first score 12, minimum 12, maximum 12, the min max is 0. The next one is 24. 24 is greater than the maximum, therefore we are going to increase the max. 10 is less than the minimum, so we are going to increase the minimum. Okay, let me just use my whiteboard to explain this problem for you. So, in this game, Maria has a list of scores. Let's say after the first game, give me 1 second. So after the first game, she scores 12. After the second game, she scores 24. After the other game, she scores 10 and then 24. So you see that at this point, from 12 to 24, she breaks her record. So we have to increase the record high broken or something like that. So from 24 to 10, she breaks the low record. You are going to increase record low broken, and we are going to set the new record, and so on. So basically, for this challenge, you need 4 variables. So the first one is current high. Let's call it current high, and we also need the current low, and these are the current values. And then we need the high count, the number of times the records were broken, the high record were broken, and the number of times the low records was broken. All right. So we are now going to say for each score, we are going to check if it's greater than the current high. Then we are going to set the new current high and then increase the high count. Else, if it's less than the current low, we are going to increase the low count and then replace the current low. So it's better I write it in the code so that I don't write 2 times. So let me be writing it in the code and explaining it as well. So let me increase the font here. Alright, so what we are saying here is we need to maintain 4 variables first. So let's see. So we need 4 variables. I'm going to say current high is equal to the first item scores 0, because we are starting from the first item. So the first item is the current high. The first item is also the current low. So for now, both of them has to be set the same value before the iteration begins. So I'm going to say the current low is equal to scores 0 as well, scores 0, and high count is equal to 0 and low count is equal to 0. All right, so I'm going to start a for loop. Shift this in a little bit. So I'm going to say for each score, or for score in scores. So I'm going to say if the score is greater than the current high. If it's greater than the current high, means that she has broken the high record. So I'm going to say current high is equal to score, because the record has been broken. And then I'm going to increase the high count like this. Now I'm going to say else if Remember, there is a situation where there's equals, where the score is equal to the current low or current high. In that case, we do nothing, all right? So in this case, else if score is less than the current low, so what we are going to do, we also say current low is equal to score, and low count, we increase the low count as well, 1. Okay, so at this point, we now have to return. So they expect us to return the count of the high and the low, right? So they expect us to return the count of the high and the low as an int array. So I'm going to return the high count and the low count as an int array. So this is basically what this problem is all about. Meanwhile, let's just run it and just make sure that we did right, that we got it correctly before we continue. So I'm going to run this code now, and it passed the 2 test cases at this point. So let's submit and see if it works. And all the 10 test cases passed successfully. So I would like to give you a big thumbs up and also thank you for being there. And remember to subscribe to my channel and also leave me a comment if this has been informative for you. Remember, I'm Kindson the Tech Pro, and we see you in the next challenge.